Welcome to the Old Fashioned Masonic Podcast, where we talk all things Freemasons while drinking an old fashioned. So this is the Battle of the Grand Masters in Texas, kind of an update. As of October 12th, here's what we know. It doesn't look like there's any sign of a slowdown that's going on. Several of these items that we're talking about, some of our sources will place in the description and in the comments, so you can go back and kind of look up for yourself what we're talking about. So here's kind of a recap of everything that's going on. The first round of charges started at a public installation against Right Worshipful Jim Rumsey. A past Grand Master, Terry Stogner, handed newly installed Grand Master G. Clay Smith charges against Rumsey during the open installation of officers. So I had the opportunity to watch this video of the event. I've actually put a link to that video in the comments and in the description as well. To me, outside perspective, it didn't seem like it was a shock to anyone. I don't want to say it was orchestrated, but I can tell you, had Most Worshipful Brad Billings, which was the outgoing Grand Master, had he not stepped in, they wouldn't have even have installed Rumsey. I think that pushback was just enough. So we don't know if this could be kind of a start of it all. So there's a lot of forums out there. For folks that know a pretty prominent Masonic writer, S. Brent Morris, he had a comment all the way back into February about this in public, which is how long it's been going on, and quote, "Texas appears to be the latest in a series of high-level suspensions and expulsions over the last few years. Texas, DC, South Carolina, and Arkansas come to mind. This, quote, brutal justice is amplified by Grand Masters with massive power and limited time to use it. It's hard to know whether the motives are closer to the preservation of the craft or settling scores in an alley after school." This is a quote from S. Brent Morris. In this recent phenomenon or other current events like this amplified by nearly instantaneous communications over social media. It's kind of interesting how public this got. So here's some other things that are going on in Texas. If you're not in Texas, you may not know this. In August of 2023, the Austin Lodge number 12 had their charter arrested. There's also a link to this that they had posted on their webpage. It basically says that their charter was arrested. This will be addressed further at the Grand Lodge session of Texas in January of 2024. The reason stated for violations was violation of lodge law and unmasonic conduct. And they went on to say, "We have received no further information or clarification from any officials in the Grand Lodge of Texas." So it looks like this will be discussed on the Grand Lodge floor in January of 2024. Just kind of digging in some more, I had some few links sent over to us. This is from a webpage called Texas Masons for Truth. Apparently, the Grand Master audited records of the Grand Treasurer and Grand Secretary and quote, found nothing. Grand Master Clay Smith ordered a special investigation into the financial affairs of the Office of the Grand Treasurer and Grand Secretary, which he had the authority under Article 26 to do so, which was kind of interesting. There's a lot to read on that if you'll go to that. Here's what it did say. The audit concluded its examination of the Grand Treasurer and Secretary's records last week and found, quote, nothing. The special investigation was in addition to an annual audit. So fairly interesting. Go into April, the Grand Master removes the Chairman of Finance, according to Texas Masons for Truth. Most Worshipful Brother G. Clay Smith has removed Brother Ronald Wise as Chairman of Finance. So that was interesting. Fast forward into September 11th. Same for Texas for Truth reported, quote, "We have received reports and charges that were filed against past Grand Master Billings, Brad Billings, at Brooklyn Lodge number 386 stated meeting on Saturday night." So this was from September 11th. So which will catch us up because on October 6th, past Grandmaster Billings posted on Facebook that he had received some charges that they had been waged against him. We've still seen nothing else on the detail of these charges and with whom placed those charges on him. Just a lot of noise going on, a lot of speculation, a lot of talk over social media that some folks are going to try to bring more charges against even the current Grand Master. I don't know what that solves. As a Mason, it sounds like the best thing to do is to get a tiled room, close it all up, and just hash it out like Brother Masons should do. But this is all over the place. I wouldn't be surprised if media outlets have not already reached out. There seems to be a real line in the sand drawn, and a division maybe between the old school and maybe more the progressive Masons. Not sure again what the charges are against Most Worshipful Brad Billings. There's lots of speculation on lots of things, cigars, whiskeys, all of the different things out there, but we don't know for sure. The only thing that I could pray for is that it just doesn't fracture Texas Masonry too terribly much. That's a state with a lot of proud Masons. So that's what we have. Go into the comments and the description. All of the sources are there. We're not spreading rumors, not spreading ill will, just spreading what's going on in Texas. There is a lot going on in Texas, and I would bet that you're going to have a near record attendance at the Grand Lodge session in January of 2024. Stay tuned. If we hear anything new, we'll share the facts as we know them. Thanks, brothers.
What did you think of this episode? To continue to promote Freemasonry, hit that like button now. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and give us a comment. The Old-Fashioned Masonic Podcast, where real Masons talk Freemasonry. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and give us a comment.